Oh, come on. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Hey. Hey, Axe 21 or Axe 2.1. Aren't you glad you didn't buy back into the market yesterday? That would have been a bad decision. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. As always, we appreciate you tuning into the channel. We've got quite a bit to get through to tonight. We are going to go, I'm going to tell you now, we are going to go on an adventure this evening. Now, many people kind of, they're like, oh, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about it. We are going to go on an adventure. It's going to take us through the depths and the turns of an AI bubble. It's going to bring us under the radar for Amazon news, as well as maybe just a little bit on Nvidia and how all this is playing out, with a nice little bypass the White House before we enter Google's head office and start talking about how JP Morgan may just be influencing this market. Without that, and a small dessert entree, we'll be talking about Bitcoin's Sharpe ratio, as well as some of the technicals right now that could align to some more market volatility. But at the same time, how does this play out with institutions deciding they're going to open their wallets, buy more Bitcoin, but we have to double back, look back to look forward, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's kind of the theme of tonight. We've got quite a bit to discuss. We're not going to go directly into the crypto news because I think there's like a little side move, just like a little side move that we need to kind of just skirt around to kind of get into understanding, like I said on the title, fake out or breakout. Okay, so is this going to be a legitimate potential rally, or is this exactly what it sort of looks like at the minute, which is a fake out? There is, in my opinion, one narrative that we need to be very much dialed in, which I think will be the positive, but eventually will burst. There you go, giving you a little clue. So what we're going to talk about in the not so distant future. So anyway, before we get into all of that, do me a quick favor, smash up the like button, trouble on your all-time high. If you haven't tapped the screen here on TikTok as well, do that. That'd be great. If you are drinking hot tea, then well done. Hopefully you are drinking Yorkshire tea. That is the only tea, by the way, that is consumed on this channel. And it should be the only tea that, if anyone is a subscriber of this channel, should drink. Okay, anyway, with that being said, let's take a look at what's going on in the markets right now. What is going on mid-day price of Bitcoin, which I think is worth discussing. And then where do we foresee a potential move, which obviously we touched on a bit yesterday, and we were sort of harping on about, where is the potential sort of low end of this market? Where are we going to go to? How big is it going to be? Blah, 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 and all that kind of nonsense. All right. So we're going to get into it as you would expect here, and as you would obviously expect us to be talking about it. So with that being said, I need to put my phone here so I can see you guys. You guys need to go this way. See you in a bit, TikTok. And let's talk about markets. So here we go. This is obviously what we were talking about yesterday. Shabalat says, I too like to dip my bag in the cup. Only an XRP. What's going on, bro? So here we go then. Talking all things cryptocurrency, everybody. I don't know why I sound so posh then. Anyway, here we go then. The Fibonacci, where we've been talking about some of these key resistance lines. The 618 held 80,600, but we did get rejected now, trying to break back above 89,000. This is obviously what we were talking about the other day. This is the rally we're looking for, the key indicator to then give us a little bit more momentum if we break. As you can see here, look at this wick, perfectly wicked and rejected. We are on the daily candles here. So we got rejected yesterday at the 89,217. So worth noting on that point that at the moment I didn't mean to do that. At the moment, that was a rejection, okay? And if you look at it on a slightly smaller time scale, which if you give me about 30 seconds, I will bring up so you guys can see it. I just need to I just want to bring something else up on this screen here. So again, if you look at, let's say, the 12 hours, what you can see is almost an absolute perfect rejection here. Now, the important bit here is that it doesn't mean that this move is over, and it doesn't mean that it's all going to go to zero. But I think what is interesting is we can almost see now, the 20-day exponential moving average coming down here. You've also then got this wick up here and the rejection, like we said, on the on the 0.5 Fibonacci. So worth noting. Also, just to give you an idea of to kind of where this plays out. So we're looking at like 89,000 as an example. you are looking at around about $250 million of potential potential shorts that would get liquidated. So not the craziest number in the world, but probably shows why at the minute there isn't that massive demand to kind of push this over. Remember, pushing it with volume will be the support. The only thing to note here is you've got quite a lot of leverage on 200x here. 100x, which is the big orange line, 50x being the yellow. So you can see the downside. So, potential market shorts right now would indicate probably a bigger sell-off, which tells us the market is very cautiously, and I do want to stress that. Oh my God, what am I doing here? I do want to stress that this isn't like me saying, oh, everyone's like super crazy bullish, like it's going to be amazing. But cautiously are actually looking at a potential move. Remember, we've been discussing futures. This is BTC futures. So you can see futures gone negative again, which means they pay the longs. So this might play out as a potential bounce here for BTC, giving us a little bit more upside momentum. I am going to hold my breath just yet, which is kind of where I was yesterday a little bit. For many people that were here yesterday, I was talking about how we need confirmation right now. Where does confirmation come in? Well, first and foremost, break back above 89,000 probably is a decent move. I was talking about 90-ish K, and then the retest of around $100,000, which is sort of up here somewhere. So two key points I'm looking at. Until they hit, I'm sort of like, yeah, market's probably still in a potential downtrend. So again, worth noting as to kind of walk how that kind of plays through. When you look at it a bit more of a weekly candle, which we will have to just redo the Fibonacci just to kind of give us just a little bit more of an indication as to where, potentially we are. You can see here on the weekly candles, we are retesting the 87,500, potentially wicking down a little bit further if we were to even tempt to come down. Likewise, if you go for the bull market cycle, you can see there we're holding up on the 382 Fibonacci. So a couple of key things to think about, whether you're looking a little bit more macro on the weekly or whether you're looking a little bit shorter term on the daily. They are, probably playing out as we, potentially would have expected them, in my opinion, all right? So that's kind of where BTC sits. Now, what is important? Are you even there? Like, no one's typed. I can't believe no one's put an even comment in the chat. Like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Samantha, what's going on? Welcome to you. Invite Wes to join. What's going on, Wes? RR35, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Davo in the building. What's going on, Davo? Good to see you, man. Welcome, Davo. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate it, man. What's going on? Invite Crypto Stock Marcus. The hell is that, bro? Web3 connection or LLC setup? What? Decentralized wallet and Web3. I don't know. Gino, thank you for the heartme's, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Casey says, Tetley T, bullish. By the way, heartme's do help the channel out, so feel free if you want to. Never expected, always well received. That's what I would say. XRP's waking up. Yeah, a little bit. It did yesterday. Way more than it is today. Wait, it's 9 p.m. already. What's going on, Craig? Yeah, I'm a little bit early, actually. I didn't realize I was actually that early, but anyway. So BTC actually trying to break back above the 100-day exponential moving average here on the weekly candles as well. So broader market structure is okay. Let's go on now on a wild journey. So come with me and you'll see. We're going to talk about an AI bubble. It might go pop or it might not. We'll see. I thought that was pretty good, by the way. Impromptu. FYI, right. I promise this will link back to cryptocurrency because it is important to think about it. But this is, I guess, this is a little bit of the narrative that right now is holding the stock market up. And basically, while ever the stock market is actually performing okay, you've always got the optimism that can sit within a crypto market, albeit they've definitely been slightly disconnected over the course of the last, let's say, 3 to 4 months. This is an important reference to think about. So you may have heard this terminology being, thrown around. Loads of people talking about the AI bubble, with Nvidia looking to, a $5 trillion market cap, Google at like $4.2, trillion now, which is kind of insane. But is there an AI bubble? And how does that AI bubble then link directly back to the crypto market? Well, here, just come with me, all right? Bear with me. I promise it'll come back to the market and I think it'll give us a bit of a view as to what's going on. But look at this. Big tech stocks binge on debt. Now, if you remember what we've been talking about, that the market right now is sort of propped up on debt. Yeah, Monad's been doing well. I was in a space with the Atlantis team earlier on. It's doing well, Monad. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. A couple of news articles I want to discuss, but doing well, I would say. But we've discussed on this, by the way, that actually the whole AI sector right now, which is driving the S&P and the NASDAQ, is built upon debt, right? So whether that's margin debt, you know, whether that's just over leverage. Like, that's why you're seeing such enormous leverage flush outs. Like, you can argue that's not debt, but it essentially is. By the price going too low, too high, you default on that agreement that you have with the centralized exchange. But you will definitely hear this. So you can see here that you've got some of these biggest companies, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft. Meta is going to be important as we walk through these next few bits. But the fact is that US big talks bond issuance hit 108 billion so far in 2025, right? The highest it's ever been. This 5 times more than 2024 and 2023. And importantly, does not include the off-balance sheet debt through special purchase vehicles, okay? So what you've got here is loads of over-leveraged debt, right? Which is important. Now, they've also got more coming, which is insane if you think about it. But Amazon's now adding another $50 billion to expand its AI for US government. So this AI bubble is not stopping when it comes to AI, right? It's not stopping, which you would argue, and I think it's worth noting, by the way, that if AI continues to push, that means you'll continue to see the S&P rally, you'll see the NASDAQ continuing to rally as well, right? Which is good. Now, if you caught my Bitcoin video, this morning actually, where I was talking about some of the key things to think about and some of the things that I think are driving this market and that is worth watching, right? And if you watch, you kind of see what's happening. So I talked about the Qs, and I talked about how the Qs right now, oh my God, I didn't put it on there. And the Qs are obviously, oh man, what's going on? Come on, sort your shit out. Sort your shit out right now. So I talked about the Qs, okay? And I talked about how the Qs essentially are tracking the price of BTC, right? Pretty much. And I think BTC is a leading indicator into what the Qs are doing. Let me just make this a little bit easier so you guys can see it. So if you didn't watch that video, by the way, you are literally missing out on absolute top rate alpha that I put out. And I research it. It's not just like random bullshit. Like, I actually try and like do my homework to make sure you guys are getting what you need to get. But anyway, so the Qs here, you can see that they follow very obviously a, kind of an interesting pattern that plays out with BTC. So you can see how this uptrend continues, followed by then when we get the push down on Bitcoin. This is a lead indicator right now for where the Qs are, even so much so that we sort of see this little kind of move here and then BTC pushing up. Albeit today, I know we're down, right? People can't really be like, oh my God, TikTok, do you want to see this, by the way? So I know people say, well, too bad we're down 1%. That's fine. But you got the Qs rallying here. Well, the Qs are driven massively out of the Mag 7, in which out of that Mag 7, 4 of them are big AI companies. Meta, Amazon, Apple, and Nvidia, right? So 4 big AI companies. So the Qs are ticking back to the upside. So albeit, yes, we've had this kind of slight cool off today. Fine. All right. Not a big deal. Certainly looks like we're going to push higher given where the Qs are, given where BTC price is, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So it's like, okay, fine. Let's see where this goes. So when we come back over here, we've got loads of debt going in. We've got the continuation of this. Now, how do you know, and this is important to think about, how do you know you're in an AI bubble and that the administration of the particular country can't afford the AI bubble to burst? Well, what do? You release some new thing that's all about AI. So President Donald Trump launching the Genesis mission, a national effort to accelerate scientific breakthrough using AI and propel America into the golden age of innovation. Okay? They're like, we need this to keep going. Like, we need the AI bubble. We need the money. Think about some of the investment that he's had. Apple, Nvidia, loads of the kind of, big tech companies that have been kind of investing, right? So they need to keep this AI bubble going. Like, they're like, we absolutely can't afford to do it. And what's important to reference here is, where does the tie then and the link come back into the crypto market? Because as much as we can go, well, yeah, AI is probably in a bubble, like, how do we know where it's coming back? Guten Abend, meine lieben Freunde. Heute mal die Burgerbank auf Deutsch. Nein, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, but großer Anglais. I don't know if that actually makes sense. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. One time, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Jake Claver's in the building. Translate. What? I don't know what. Something auf Deutsch. So I know what most of that says. I know what most of it says. I don't know what the other one is. But anyway, so here's the point, right? Here's the point to think about, right? Good evening, my friends. Today, what is the word? What is that word there? I don't know what Bergruben is auf Deutsch. Heute mal oh my God, Begrübung auf Deutsch. So, guten Abend, meine liebe Freunde, is good evening, my friend. Heute mal, I don't know what it is. Anyway, don't matter. I think I was close. All right. Today, the greeting is in German. I love it. Okay, so the fact that we have this going on, how do we link this back to the crypto market, right? We know that the AI bubble is going. Whenever the AI bubble continues to push to the upside, that means money's going into the US economy. The reality is that Green says, okay, cool. I love it, by the way. We should do that every night, speak a slightly different language to learn it. But Trump needs the AI. US good. Thank you, mate. Trump needs the AI bubble to keep going, right? He needs this to keep going. He certainly needs it to run into kind of next year. You know, we got a little bit of data today, nothing crazy. So how do we link this back to the crypto market and what is going to support given this AI narrative? Well, outside of obviously tech being tech, Google, and I don't know if you guys have seen this now, but Google is very much now getting involved in this. In fact, Google's market cap, I don't know if you saw this after hours, is skyrocketing right now, right? It's absolutely skyrocketing right now, partly because of this chip scenario. So look at this after hours, 1.6%. Let's get the cues off here. 1.6% with Google, right? Google is skyrocketing right now on the announcement that they may be producing these new chips. They're called T2 chips or something it is. I don't know. That they basically are potentially going to be using. Man, Monad's up 40%. Holy crap, I didn't realize that. Anyway, so these chips, therefore, now might be open to be sold into the open market, which I think will be pretty bullish, which is why NVIDIA's kind of having a massive dump. Now, you may be thinking, all right, 2-bit, whatever. But what's important here is, don't forget, Google collaborates with Coinbase, and they add now crypto payments to all of their new AI payments protocol. So all of the AI stuff that Google's doing that you pay for, you subscribe to, this Gemini is linked directly back to Coinbase and therefore to AI payments. So, all right, you got to put your tinfoil hats on a little bit here, and then we're going to go into something even wilder. But so what you've got is this AI boom that's basically holding the stock market up. Okay, Mag 7 holding up the stock market. They account for 47% of the entire market. But you've got this massive boom in AI that is stimulating loads of growth into the economy. It's stimulating loads of capital, jobs, all that kind of good stuff, right? You've also then got some of these bigger companies that have direct links back to on-off ramps in terms of cryptocurrency that are directly linked back to the AI. So whenever you have booming AI, you in essence have booming on and off ramps into the AI sector. Now, where it's not translating is we're not seeing kind of big AI in crypto move much. But I'll give you an example. Aethia, many of you will know that I was invested in Aethia. That was one of the ones I sold. But they just recorded one of their biggest months ever in terms of revenue generation from their project. The price is still garbage, as the rest of the market is. But the point here is that you are now starting to see this narrative on AI that's shifting a little bit from just bullshit coins to actually doing something. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it, man. So this is going to be a really important narrative. Now, the flip side of this would be that if the AI bubble goes pop, then we're all going to zero, right? Let's just call it as it is. The whole crypto market falls to pieces. The stock market rolls over. You end up in massive recessions. No one has any jobs. It's an absolute disaster, okay? So it is important to think about how that is. Man, Story. I mean, I talked about Story back in August. That thing's like up at another 16% today. It's like nearly $3. Holy shit. All right, one German sentence every next stream. Sound good? Yeah, I like it. Love it. Couldn't say no to 200 a day. Easy shit. I'm running my own business. What the hell is that? I'm retired, but yet working 7 days for 2 people to have something to do because I get bored. RPM, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. So this is kind of important to think about. So AI bubble is good while ever it is good. But if the bubble pops, we're off to zero. But look at this. First half of the year, investments in computer equipment and software accounted for 90% of the growth of the US GDP. So you know when they're going, oh, like Trump's like, oh, the US economy is booming. GDP is going to be revised to like 6%. I think it was Howard Lutnick was talking about expectations between 6 and 8% GDP. It's like, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me right now? Which aligns to a broader 2026 bull market cycle top if that's the case. All right, I'm not going to get into the kind of schematics of what that looks like, but if this pops up, I mean, you want to be out of your positions. That's all I'm going to say. But this whole AI thing, keep an eye on it. This is the big problem, though, where we see huge, and I mean huge amounts of debt, which will be another reason why the Fed may be about to hack rates down, right? Because absolutely, if you've got a booming AI sector, you've got Trump now that's like, hey, we're going to get super bullish and look at this. There'll be some, I guarantee he says something like this over the course of maybe the next week. We're invested in AI. We're going to cure cancer. We're going to cure cancer. Like, so then he's going to basically blame the fact that they haven't cured cancer on tariffs, not tariffs, on interest rates by the Fed. So this is like another 4D chess move to drive interest rates down. FYI, 82.7% on interest rates. A lot of people getting pretty bullish on where we're going to get to. Again, we will see how this plays out, but I still favor a 50 basis points cut, which is kind of wild. Now, someone did post out, which is why you should just unfollow some people on Twitter. They were like, 9 out of 11 people in the Fed, 50 basis points. You're like, oh my God, these people just need to get off this platform. But anyway, that's for a different video. Monad is the new DeFi in Coinbase. Mark, I thought it was the new Solana. I love people that are super bullish. By the way, I like Monad. I do like Monad. I'm more excited about the projects that I'm going to launch in it pretty soon, but it's holding up, by the way. Buy any chain link on this dip. It's perfectly... Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought anything, to be honest. I'm sitting there. I am chillaxing. I'm just enjoying the ride and seeing where the market goes. Again, I want to see a confirmation that we're going to see upside momentum rather than downside push. So I haven't bought anything. I've got stablecoin. I'm chilling. I'm not stressing it, by the way. So yeah, I haven't bought anything. Let me know what you guys have bought, though. I'm definitely curious whether you bought into the dip. Let me know. TikTok as well. And yeah, don't forget, share us out, by the way. There's a little button down here. Click on this. Likewise, share us out on YouTube as well, by the way. Let people know we're here. Or you can just simply give us a quick like. I'd appreciate it. Dave, my man, what's going on, buddy? Mr. Lambo, welcome in, pal. So, with that, what do we get in terms of data today, by the way? Core PPI came in at what did it come in as? 2.6. Previous 2.9. So, came in pretty bullish, actually, in fairness. I think people don't believe it, though, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, actually, PPI came in pretty good. Loads of people are misconfusing, though. PPI year over year came in flat, which, look, is fine. I think people thought it would uptick, and it didn't. So, good to know. Okay, so that's the AI bubble that I want to talk about. Now, if you thought that was wild, wait till I take you through this next story, because holy shit, it is about to get wild. Did JP Morgan orchestrate October 10th using a 42-day-old document? Wow. Holy crap. JP Morgan accused of orchestrating October 10th crypto crash by recycling 42-day-old MSCI document warning of MicroStrategy delisting risks, triggering a $19 billion liquidation cascade. Here's the poll question. Start a poll. Do you think JP Morgan caused October 10th? October 10th, question mark. Let me know. Let me know. Likewise, tickers. Here we go. Look, quick poll. Thumbs, like smiley face, yes. Sad face, smiley face, no. Sad face, yes. So if you think JP Morgan caused October 10th, you need to pick a sad face. All right, tickers, let me know what you got. Let me know what you got. All right, Geezer, any thoughts on XCL? I haven't looked at it for ages, but I know that a lot of our community is still super bullish in it. I can't vote because I have no idea. Neither do I. That's why I'm asking you lot. That's why I'm asking you lot. You got to pick the faces. Hopefully you can see it. Oh, Andrew says they did. Casey's all about it. So yeah, interesting, by the way. Interesting if they did. Now, I don't know whether it's true. All I know is that we know JP Morgan is short MicroStrategy. We know Jamie Dimon is. I mean, I don't want to call him a lizard man, but he's kind of a little bit like that. Like, he'll say one thing and mean another thing. All he gives a flying fuck about is that his pockets are getting in line with capital. That's my opinion, by the way. Not financial advice. I'm not being an absolute chopper, by the way. Don't ban me, TikTok. I'm just saying. When does the M2 money supply flood liquidity at the market? 25 or in 26? Probably more likely 2026. Probably more likely. But you could get some back end of December, maybe. I vote with no idea. Fair enough. Why would they? Well, why would they? That's a great question. What price did we get in at? Why wouldn't they? Why do we see, exchanges dumping markets? Yeah, they're short MicroStrategy right now. JP Morgan's got a massive short on MicroStrategy, which, by the way, isn't unusual. Loads of people believe MicroStrategy could go bust. They believe that it's over leveraged, Ponzi scheme, whatever you can call it. But yeah, I mean, I've been reading about this, but JP Morgan are short MicroStrategy right now. It's interesting, isn't it? Interesting indeed. So, yeah. Pretty interesting. But yeah, just in large number of users are allegedly rushing to close accounts on JP Morgan. We talked about this yesterday, but lots of assumptions are being made that, yeah, people are shorting MicroStrategy with the assumption that maybe it goes bust. Doesn't feel like it. But anyway, who is Jamie Dimon? He is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, which is, I mean, I think it's one of the biggest banks out there. So, yeah. An interesting CPI, interesting couple of months ahead. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Same day, the someday the distinguished, I don't know what that means. They're short, yeah, they are house. Anyway, so yeah, think about that. Pretty interesting. Okay, let's get into why haven't they shorted them back then? Well, because you've got, I mean, think about it. Like the markets took a massive dump, and this is where you have to be careful though, because you could start to really like go down a rabbit hole. So let's walk through what JP Morgan Chase has to do with crypto. And don't forget what they have access to that they've never had access to before. So think about this. JP Morgan is a, I don't know what they would call it. What would they call them? They're like a custodian of ETFs for BlackRock, for a number of other ones. As part of the ETF kind of launches, JP Morgan was seen as I can't think of the exact word for it, but anyway, they back it. So they have access to a ton of capital from individuals that launch these ETFs, right? Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. They also have links directly back to Coinbase. So why would they go short MicroStrategy? Well, maybe they want to dump the price. I mean, who the hell knows? But it's pretty wild. But they could have made more then. If that's the case. But why wouldn't they have shorted them back? Well, shorted them, yeah, but don't forget, when you got Saylor raising, and it'd be hilarious to find out where Saylor is actually raising capital from. That would be pretty interesting, actually, to see whether he was raising it from like JP Morgan or something crazy. But anyway, I don't know how true this is. I think it's an interesting article that's coming in. So let me know the votes, right? Bitcoin's sharp ratios collapse to zero territory, a level never seen before. Well, a level seen prior to all major reversals in 2019, 2020, and 2022. Are we about to see exactly the same thing again? You can see here, look, 2019, whenever this ratio hit super low, we did actually then bounce to the upside before coming back down again. You can see here that we hit the low again back here in 2023. And again, we are looking now for a further push to the upside. Is this happening again? Are we at the bottom? Which, by the way, lots of people believe that we are in a world of, could this be? I mean, I saw some crazy statements yesterday. They were like, "Oh no, the bear market is over. Like we're nearly out of the bear market. Bear market's been for like the last six months to a year." You're like, what the hell have I missed? Where did this last year go? Anyway, Plume RWA approved by the SEC. Is it really? Man, Holmes was talking about that ages ago. It's funny, I'm long on NMR because JP Morgan supposedly has a $500 million deal with it, but it's still 100 million market cap. Fat Sonic. Be careful, bro. Anyway, so whether you believe Bitcoin sharp ratio or not, and look, you can see this like RSI. RSI is the most oversold it's ever been. Does it mean it's going to go to the upside? No, of course it doesn't. But could it be? Maybe. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of worth thinking about. But yeah, kind of interesting as where this kind of plays through. Now, there is some more charts. Well, we talked about this yesterday. US selling is cooling down. This could be good news. Finally, Coinbase's Bitcoin Premium Index is actually starting to chill the f out, okay? So again, when you see this like 21st and the 17th, you correlate that back to the BTC price, by the way. When you got the 27th and the 13th, these correlate to massive dumperinos in the markets, okay? Massive dumperinos in the market. So important to think about, as kind of these bigger moves, 21st to 17th, like we said. You're like, here, look, so 21st, this big old wick here, 17th, big old wick here. So, these two, this indicator, or this, I guess, this premium rate indicator, generally speaking, if this starts to go lower, means less selling pressure. Less selling pressure hopefully means a little bit more optimism. How do we know? Because, all right, it's fine having less selling pressure. What we need, though, is buying pressure, don't we? We need people to come in and buy the freaking dip, or at least buy something. Well, how do we know that's going to happen? Look at this. Texas just bought 10 million Bitcoin for its strategic reserve. Holy crap, like Texas are actually doing it. Like, go Texas. They are buying Bitcoin officially for, for their strategic reserve. Now, it's 10 million. It's like change on the dollar. It's not the biggest number in the world, but it is a buy, and it's a sentiment shift, in my opinion. If you think about where we rallied to, some of the previous all-time highs we've got there still wasn't really buying a Bitcoin. Like, yeah, the treasury company thing was it was a thing, wasn't it? But no one was really doing it. I think the other thing to note here as well, and I was talking to Vern about this earlier on, and I think it is worth noting. I'm going to try and, I think, did we look at it yesterday? Man, I can't even remember. So we might have done. I can't remember if we did. I always buy the dip. Curtis knows what's up. I thought we'd looked at this yesterday. Maybe not. Oh, it's going to be super annoying. Oh, there we are. I've got it. I have got it. So if you remember, and yeah, I mean, I touched on this yesterday, but I think I did. But I want to play this because I think it's important to reference. And it also aligns to what I've been talking about, which is that, in my opinion, there is certainly a narrative that we need to be mindful of. So, for many of you may or may not have seen this. I don't know if you have. This is none other than Eric Trump. Obviously, TikTok, you can't see it because TikTok get weird about this, but you can hear it. So, Eric Trump here talking about American Bitcoin and their mining facility. But I want you to listen to exactly what he says because this is important.
Hey friends, Eric Trump. Welcome to American Bitcoin. It's a little sneak peek of our facility in Texas using American energy to mine Bitcoin right here on American soil. We could not be more proud of this facility. 35,000 of these servers right here, all liquid cooled, securing the network, mining Bitcoin. Every single day we mine about 2% of the world's Bitcoin supply, and we safeguard it every single day. So when people say that cryptocurrency is intangible, it's not. It's very tangible. And this right here, guys, is living proof.
So I think it's important to reference there that he says every day we mine about 2% of the Bitcoin supply. Now, I don't think he means that. I don't think he means 2% because 2% would be a lot, right? It'd be like 21,000 Bitcoin. So they don't mine 21. I think personally, right? I think personally, what he means is they mine 2% of the daily mineable Bitcoin, which is, if you remember, 450 Bitcoin, right? So they mine about 9 Bitcoin a day. Now, what's interesting is that what he said there was that they then custody that Bitcoin. They don't sell it. Ask yourself this question. By the way, I'm not going super bullish. We're just seeing kind of what's going on. So you got, the potential liquidity easing, QT coming to an end. You've got potential in terms of some of the other stuff we talked about, Fed rate cuts, easing on Coinbase Premium Index, blah, 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 Bitcoin Sharp ratio, all that kind of stuff, right? If they are mining 2%, why are they not selling their Bitcoin? Why? Right? Why, if they're mining 9 Bitcoin a day, let's say, for example, why would they not be selling any of it? Any of it. Okay, so we're going to custody Bitcoin. We're going to mine Bitcoin. We're going to hold Bitcoin, but we think the price may go down further. Like, no. That's not how business works. That is not how business works. Now, it's different if you're a treasury company. It's different if you're a fund, an ETF, blah, 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 blah. Ask yourself, why are they not doing it? I don't necessarily think it's like all a big smoke and mirrors thing, but it is interesting the fact that they're not doing it. They don't need to. Well, I'm sure they, you got to think about it. While Bitcoin was $126,000, I mean, maybe they just sold it, maybe at the top and they've got an absolute shit ton of capital, but 100 million USD for strategic BTC reserve in Texas. They spend more during a long weekend on high stakes gambling in Las Vegas, yeah, look, and it's 10 million, by the way, not 100 million. It's 10 million. Look, I'm not saying that it's going to pump the price to $100,000. I am saying that's a sentiment shift, though. Think about it. Is that going to be a defining moment that we say, oh my God, Texas bought $10 million worth of Bitcoin? No, but it's a sentiment change, which I think is important. So what's going on, Davo? Thanks for the little football things. I appreciate that. So again, it is worth noting on that. Now, worth also noting, by the way, we see a slowing, thankfully, in ETF selling, okay? So actually, BlackRock, albeit, continue to dump, and you need to watch this. They continue to dump Bitcoin. What's interesting here is the rest of the market is buying. So actually, we'll see positive day on inflows. We saw a little bit of an outflow yesterday, 151. That will be mitigated today. And I actually think there'll be a little bit of inflows on those ETFs, which is important. Now, the budget's going to be fucked, Stu. Sorry, Kevin. It's going to be awful, right? Brace yourself. It is going to be freaking terrible. I'm telling you that now. They'll hike national insurance, hike income tax. They'll hike inheritance tax. You better believe it, baby. It would not surprise me one bit if there isn't and we're going to go after the crypto market as well. Alvin says, keep up the good work, bro. Alvin, thank you so much. Alvin, I was looking at your website earlier on, by the way, East Comedy Digital, and I couldn't see computer bits. So I don't know if there is a computer bit part, but I couldn't see anything. I think there was laptops and screens and all the rest of it. MB23 off a miss, bro. Not a lot, to be honest. You know me. We'll just keep it real. On the down low. A little bit about American Bitcoin, a little bit about AI. I mean, the AI bit was probably worth it, actually. You probably should watch the AI bit, in my opinion. In my opinion. How much does it cost to mine 1 BTC? That is a great question, actually. Don't know. Don't know. Let's find out. How much to mine 1 Bitcoin? I'll put in the USA, yeah? In the USA. Bitcoin average mining costs. Here we go. Perfect. Look at this. As if there's a site called Macro Micro. Beautiful. Beautiful. It costs, I've got to subscribe. Oh, great. Thank you so much. AI mode. Let's go to AI mode. Gemini. Hit me up, Gemini. The cost of mine a single Bitcoin in the USA varies wildly, but large scale, efficient operations with low electricity costs approximately 34,000 to 56,000 as of late 2024-25. For individuals, home miners using average grid electricity, the cost can be over 111,000. Holy shit. The reality is that it's all luck, isn't it? You could mine for like 2 days and bang, hit a block and get a Bitcoin. You could mine for 10 years and never hit anything. So the challenge. The challenge. All right, nice. All right, cool. Yeah, hit me up. How you doing? Yeah, it was all right, you know. It was okay. I mean, he was mad at me because he bought breakfast. Well, he was like, "Do you want some breakfast?" And I don't eat breakfast. I have a little like a little nut bar thing. That's it. Like, no jokes, by the way. It's like an actual like nut bar, maple and nuts, I think it is. That's all I have, and I have a coffee for breakfast. And he's like, "Oh, do you want breakfast?" I was like, "No, I just have a coffee." So then he got like a bloody double egg McMuffin, coffee, hot chocolate, like pissing cheese wrap, like literally had to sit there while he's just like, I mean, he's not like a big like weird guy, like he just smashes his breakfast down. And then literally as he went, "Oh yeah, cheers for lunch, even though I bought you breakfast." I was like, "You bought me a coffee, bro. What the hell are you talking about?" Anyway, I rung Vern on the way home and I was like, "Bro, we need to make this whole crypto thing work full time next year." Drinking peppermint tea. What's the good stuff? Get out of here. I was on Yorkshire tea. Right. Anyway, come on, we're off track. So Bitcoin ETFs actually look okay, which is kind of good news. However, it's worth noting here. Look at this. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF sold 2.2 billion BTC in November. Biggest outflow by far since launch. Now, you have to look at this one of two ways. What are we thinking about a BNB ETF? I thought there was one, by the way. I thought there was one. I think there'll be loads of altcoin ETFs coming out, by the way, pretty soon. So strap in and get ready. But the debate here would be, you know, how often are they going to dump $2 billion worth of BTC? We'll see. I mean, there's a week left. So this is going to get worse, by the way. They're going to keep dumping this. So you're probably going to end up with nearly $3 billion, I think, personally, out of it. Does that mean they're going to stop selling? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But lots of selling out of iBit still, and they still hold an absolute shit ton, by the way. So worth thinking about, in my opinion. I've bought him a nut bar for lunch. I ate it. I ate the nut bar. Yorkshire tea. What was that? Yorkshire tea made in India. Really? Is it? Nah. Get out of here. It's made at Taylor's, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know where it's made now. Is that really true? I feel like that's not true, Fairground. I feel like you're winding me up. Hold on a minute. Can you do Google AI or not? Is it like something I can just like chat to? AI mode. Is it like a speaker thing? Oh, there is. Hey, where is Yorkshire tea made? Yeah, shut up, Fairground. Oh no, hold on a minute. Yeah, Yorkshire tea is blended and packed in Harrogate, North Yorkshire, England, by the family company Taylor's. Told you it was Taylor's. But they use tea blended in Yorkshire that comes from India, Africa, Sri Lanka, and Rwanda. There you go. That's why Yorkshire tea's ace. Your live is now not eligible for recommendations and restricted in search results for the next 10 minutes because your live does not comply with... What? What? Why does my live not comply with it? For hate speech? Oh my God. Honestly, this platform is absolutely wild. I was talking about tea. I'm literally talking about tea. Can I appeal this decision or not? Appeal. Yeah, there we go. Appeal. The notice is unclear. My live does not contain the content mentioned. There we go. I was literally talking about tea. This platform is wild. I was talking about cups of tea. Oh, man. I think you should be saying tea as in tea, the proper pronouns, maybe. Do you think that's what it is, Chipper? No way. No way, bro. No way. That can't be true. I don't think that's true. Shout out to BitInflows ETF. I'm trying to get the XRP ETF inflows up, but I can't see it right now. But yeah, hopefully we'll find out. I mean, it's a 10-minute thing, but I mean, it's ridiculous. I was talking about T. I mean, it could be chipper. Who knows, in fairness. Right. Oh, here we go. We got it. Oh, man, they took a hit today. Look at that. $54.9 million. That's like, yeah, that's down a little bit. That's halved in 24 hours. So a little bit, you went off script. Yeah, I started talking about T. 54 milli. That's a significant drop, actually. So what have we got? Bitwise, XRPTF did 14 million. Not the worst. Frankel Templeton, 12.2. So, I mean, they held up all right, in fairness. I think what you've got here when you just look at the split between some of these is you don't seem to have a lot of demand right now. So think about it. That's 50 million split across 6 ETFs. So less than 10 million on each one. So yeah, not the craziest number, I guess, but still, I mean, interesting to see it. But yeah, that's a big drop off, actually, isn't it? That is a big drop off from where we've been. So, yeah, interesting. The last time America talked about tea, we started a revolution. Yeah, the 3% tea tax. More likely to get biscuits from Yorkshire. Yeah, mate, biscuits are where it's at. Okay. Couple of things to think about. Custody shuffle continues. 87,464 BTC is on the move as institutions, for whatever reason, continue to move Bitcoin around. We saw it with Coinbase. We now see it again with a number of different companies moving all around. Whether it's an upgrade to wallet, I don't really know, to be honest. But Strategy accounted for 49,907 of the tracked outflows. CEO Michael Saylor confirmed the company sold no Bitcoin. BlackRock moving around, and Coinbase. And we also saw UTXO moving as well. So weirdly, just lots of Bitcoin moving around for some reason. This gives you a bit of an idea as to kind of where they want to, where they went, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, kind of interesting as this one plays through. I can't believe that this restriction's still in and that it hasn't taken it off, even though I was talking about cups of tea. But anyway, such is life. So you can see there that how this moves around. Now, I believe there's some kind of wallet upgrade. I'm not fully up to speed with it, but again, the only sell pressure I'm really seeing is coming from like BlackRock and ETFs. All right, so it's kind of like whatever. Monad, again, we touched on this a little bit, but look at this. Monad's leading 24-hour growth among tokens with $1 billion FDV. That's pretty wild, in fairness, when you think about it. I think this ecosystem could be good news, and I'm hoping it is. I'm excited to see what they do. I was researching a little bit, and I don't know if any of you caught me in the Twitter space that I was talking about earlier, but the way Monad's, like, and one of the big selling points for Monad is the size of smart contract you can operate on it. So standard smart contract is like 16 megabits or something. Monad allows you to do like 128. So they can have way bigger, more complicated smart contracts that offer, different things and utilities and all the rest of it. So I think it's a pretty exciting ecosystem. I certainly am excited to see what happens. Like I said, I was in a space earlier on with the Atlantis team and it was pretty good. So we'll keep an eye on Monad. That could be good news. And then finally, just in the last news section, we'll get into what you guys want to talk about in just a minute. Any questions or thoughts or opinions you guys may have. Kevin Hassett could end up being the Fed chair candidate, who would be a real big bull for rate cuts and money printing, which would be pretty wild. So he's the director of the National Economic Council, and he's certainly a pro-Trump individual. Magic Craig, see you soon, buddy. Take care, pal. And yeah, he would definitely align with like Stephen Mirren or something. That would be a pretty big news story, and I think they would be certainly probably way more optimistic about rate cuts than we currently sit with the current Fed chair. And he says here, if I were the Fed chair, I would cut rates now because the data says we should be doing it. Kevin Hassett, their director of the National Economic Council. So the reality is that Stephen Mirren believe we should be cutting based on what's coming over the hill versus where we are right now, which kind of makes sense. You should be forward looking as opposed to looking at where we are. You can't make policy based on now before you make policy based on where we're potentially going to be. So I think that's probably worthwhile noting. But yeah, pretty interesting. So overall, though, I think when you sort of, if you were to summarize today, I think the market probably needs this little cool off. Not that I think we were pumping into oblivion, by the way, but nothing really goes up forever. Tomorrow's a test. We don't want to see this kind of come back down. Macro, be very mindful of the AI bubble. I think personally, I think it's definitely kind of one of those things where you've got to be careful as to when and if that bubble pops, and it's going to be bad news. That's just my opinion. I believe Monad has 100 billion supply and 11% in circulation. That's true. Well, is it? Or I know the public sale was 7.5% of the supply, so I'm not sure. Well, we can have a look actually. We can see what that looks like when we go over here. So yeah, worth, in my opinion, thinking about on the macro side of things. Now, the good news for you guys is obviously we'll keep you posted on what's going on. Make sure that 11:30 every day. Don't forget, I put an like a wider Bitcoin and global economy video out. It's generally tied back to the crypto market, but gives you a view of maybe where the economy is, etc. And then later in the afternoon, I do normally put another altcoin video out, which will be something like XRP or anything else that I'm kind of talking about. So, yeah, so the total supply, 100 billion. Yeah, circulating is 10.83 billion supply. So, yeah, not sure kind of what the plan is on that. I don't know what the FTV is. Proof of work narrative quietly pumping. Yeah, the old school miner narrative feels like it's doing all right, isn't it? Feels like it's doing all right. So, yeah, I haven't seen the full breakdown, by the way, on Monad specifically. Yeah, I saw that, Kevin. I think that'd be good news if that was the case. Like, I mean, that could be a bullish catalyst for getting the markets moving, isn't it? But yeah, I can't find the tokenomics on this at all, by the way. So you have to take my word for it. Take my word for it, but you're right. You're about 12, probably a bit less actually, about 11% in circulation right now. So is worth thinking about. Okay, let me close that down. Let me close that. Fed 82.7, bullish. Bullish. 2 minutes and 21 seconds until the restriction's gone for talking about tea. So that should be good news as well. Bitcoin Cash been pumping quietly for weeks. Casper turned. Yeah, I saw it just came up on my phone now. Casper broke 5 cents, which is kind of good. Jesse, what's going on, bro? Yeah, so let's do so what are the top coins for this? Story, look at that. It's one of the best performing assets. Holy crap. Casper's second, Quant's up there as well. Nice. Some of these are pumping quite well. World Liberty Financial still can't break 16 cents though. Like, what's going on? Come on, World Liberty Financial. Tau's up there. Asta starting to move. You can all thank me for that back because I sold. Even Picoin having a decent move today. Who would have thought that? Not me. All right? Not me. I did not think Picoin would be there. Not a lot, unfortunately, moving to the upside, though. You know, we've got a couple of little ones here. Avalanche continues its rally a little bit. Injectives up there as well, but that's about it. Everything else is doom and gloom, I'm afraid. Worst performing right now, Telcoin, Zcash. No surprise, Zcash going down, baby. Is the Zcash bubble over? Down 4%. Is the Zcash bubble about to go kaboom? Feels like it. Do you think Quant has a future? I mean, yes. Yes. As much as I think, you know, other altcoins have as well, but I wouldn't say there's a massive insatiable demand for it. That's my opinion. So, you know, it's a bit like, well, maybe not. You know, which I think is kind of important, but yeah. Crypto future debate, vote on Quant. The AI is wild in this, by the way. But yeah, I think a lot was hedged on ISO 222, which again, if we talked about it the other day, the ISO thing was a little bit gimmicky because it hasn't really done anything. There was no like concrete, yes, integration with Swift on an ISO compliant token. No. It just means that they are. That's it. And we said that, didn't we? We called that fact that we didn't expect anything to go crazy on the back of it. Selmo says QNT is a fantastic use case. Look, I like it as a you know, bit of an AI coin, ISO compliant. Like, yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of good stuff going for it. It just feels underhyped, and I think anything in the space that's underhyped generally underperforms as well. So, but yeah, man, watch out for Zcash. I think Zcash is coming down. Maybe an interesting trade from 423. You know, maybe we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, Quant's up 9.7% today. So Quant having a pretty good run all in all. Rest of the market pretty flat. Bitcoin 87,100. So not really doing too much at the minute, but you know, I was hoping for a little bit more of a stronger move. Remember, we were hoping for maybe seeing 90k. We haven't quite got to that point, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right, our restriction is officially over, so be nice to everybody. What is mainly focused on the institutions and not so much retail. They are pretty popular in Europe. Yeah, that's true. And look, you know, lots of people talk about it. It's I wouldn't say it's just a grindy coin, isn't it? It's a little bit like Tron. Like it just grinds up, in my opinion. So, you know, like I said, it's not the worst coin in the world. Am I going to go nip, you know, half my portfolio into it? No, probably not. Probably not. But anyway, good. Right. Good stuff. stuff. Do, by the way, if you are still here on TikTok, share us out, obviously, with, you know, whatever's just happened. Talking about tea, you know, never a good thing. Do share us out, tap the like button, get all like bullish, which is great. That trading view sale was wild. Oh, yeah, mate. What was it like? Like, it was a lot off. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Zcash is definitely one of those coins that if you don't buy, will carry on going up if you buy. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what's going to happen. I guarantee you the minute if I was to buy Zcash, it would, I would, if I bought Zcash, you know what happened? It would go, and then I'd sell and it'd go. Oh, man, it's just how it is. It's just how it is, unfortunately. Right. Good. Okay, we said all that stuff. What do we get in terms of macroeconomics? Anything interesting? Yeah, Monads up a little bit, which is kind of wild. US treasuries down. That's good news, by the way. We want to see treasuries keep coming down. This is obviously good news. Treasuries continue to dump. That is exactly what we want to see. So, you know, if treasuries continue to come down, then that is good news, man. The TikTok thing has like killed the channel. Like nobody's coming in. I haven't had a single viewer now for the last like thing. Should I end the stream and start again? I feel like maybe I should. That's wild that like that is the thing. It's wild. Like you talked about tea, bro. You talked about tea. Yeah, no one, Jim Bob, no one's come in though. Like literally, it's just sat at 20 people. We had like nearly 100 people in before it went off and did the weird restriction thing. No, not a single person. I'd come back on. I'd just end it and start it again. I feel like that should be a good thing, but I mean, I'll hang around for a bit longer and see if anyone tunes up. Tibit, still wild. That sale is at 8%. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, for the year? Crazy. Anyway. Yeah, literally no one's coming in. Okay, I'm going to end it and then jump back on, all right? So, yeah, see you guys in a sec. Man, honestly, TikTok is such a wild platform. It is absolutely insane. Absolutely freaking insane. Okay, live. It's fine. Who would have thought it, hey? Like, I think I can't believe it. Like had a go at me for calling friggin' Fairground like a massive chopper. Like, what the hell? Anyway, right. Let's get back live on here and go live. There we go. Right, we're going back live again. We have more long. Yeah, 100% Tomato Pete. 100%. But yeah, it's wild that happened. Anyway, falling wedge, be careful. What on Zcash? Yeah, by the way, Glenn, we're not absolutely 100% not saying that this is a good idea, by the way, in any way, shape, or form. I think you've got to be very mindful of where... I think the same could be said for a lot of coins right now. I think you've got to be careful of where they're trading. You've got to be careful of where they're trending. There's a lot of, there's a lot of uncertainty in this market, which I think is important to think about. And I was talking about this earlier on, actually, when I was discussing a little bit more on the macro side of things, which is things like, where's margin debt, where's Fed balance sheets, all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? You need to kind of keep a close eye on it. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome in. That's a bit better. We're getting a few more people back, which is, I mean, it's insane that even happens, isn't it, to be thinking about it? But anyway, such as life. Feels like a different angle. It is a different angle because I haven't done this yet. There you go. Bush. I don't think so, Kev. Not that I'm aware of. Thanks, Alvin, man. I appreciate it. Kevin the building stored in Mr. Yeah, I mean, imagine that. That would be pretty insane if that happened, in fairness. You got to be like, what, bro? Right. Okay. We talked about XRP. We talked about the Fed rates, 82.7. This is kind of good news. Hopefully this kind of keeps pushing up. We want to see that 50 basis points cut, baby. That's what we're all about. I want to see a 50 in December. Whether we get that or not is a different discussion. Right, DeFi. We didn't really get a chance to look at DeFi last night. I don't know if there's much going on over here, by the way. Just FYI, I'm not in anything other than a little bit in Atlantis. That is about it. I don't think I've got any like crazy coins. Charlie coins up a little bit. Someone's asking about XCL. What is that doing right now? I haven't even checked, to be fair. We haven't looked at it for a while. Man, down 25%. Ouch. That's a stinger. That is a stinger. Yeah, that looks not... Oh, it's the weekly chart. Sorry. Yeah, that looks a little bit painful, doesn't it? Little bit painful. Man, it's honestly such a shame that it did that on its launch, but hey. Thoughts on Tuna? Is that actually a real thing? Is that like a coin that's launched recently? DeFi Tuner. Is that it? Holy crap. What is that? I don't even know what it is. 2,000 holders, 6K in volume. Thoughts on it? Looks pretty pants if it's that one. If it's DeFi Tuner, looks pretty pants. Turbo Pass has bought a big lump of Monad for short term. What's reasonable price to sell if it goes up? Well, I mean, it's hard to say at the minute because obviously the the fact is that it's super new. Now, their ecosystem looks wild, but my strategy, this is not me telling you guys what to do. I'm just saying this would be my opinion, but I mean, that's a great looking chart right now, isn't it? Like, if you, what was the pre-sale at? 0.025. Yeah, so 0.025. So, you know, what are you at now? You're nearly a 2x on it. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit off the table. Now, I'm not saying it should be. All I would say is research it. You know, research what Monad's all about. Like, even their smart contract stuff's like pretty good. Pretty good. Selling to get into the Sentinel pre-sale will be fine. Fair enough. I haven't looked at him, to be honest. I need to probably have a look a bit more. The Breezo says Quant. Yeah, we were just talking about that. But yeah, I think with Monad, you know, could be a good one. Could be a good one to definitely look at taking some profits. But yeah. What about Pol? As in, do you mean Polygon? I mean, they've got loads of cool stuff going on in their ecosystem. Loads of cool stuff going over there. The coin and the price, awful. Awful. So, yeah. Well, what's up, man? How did your day go with your boss? Okay, yeah, fine. Be kind. The official XCL DAB asked us all to add your private keys to claim rewards on the site. Felt wrong. Now drop new pre-sale. I don't think that's true. Tim, do you know if that's true? I don't think that's true. That sounds like a scam. There's no way. I hope you didn't do it, by the way. But that, I don't. Tim, do you know anything about that? Tim might be able to answer it. Thoughts on Monad? Yeah, I was just talking about Monad, actually. I like it. I think the launch has been good. I think it's got some upside. Certainly at the minute, feels like it's got some good upside. And the chart looks great, by the way. We're literally looking at the chart right now. There you go, look. Chart looks great on Monad. Really good. Your supporter, Davo, just joined. Hey, Davo. Dot as a gift for a logo. I mean, that's true in fairness. Casper's up 20%. Your opinion on Algorand? I liked Algorand, still do. Liked it way more before it pumped, though. We were talking about that. 100% happy. Did it really? I mean, that's wild. Is that why it had such a massive sell-off? Like I said, I thought Tim might be able to confirm it, but yeah, it feels like that's not right. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do the pre-sale, but let some of the guys will know, definitely. Can you explain? Yeah, 100%. It's like definitely not. You can add key if you want automatic claims as a relay. Okay. My view, never add your private keys to anything. You shouldn't even keep them on your computer. This is actually a serious thing, by the way. I have mine split between this house and another house somewhere to make sure that, like, if anyone ever got hold of it, they couldn't even have access to it. Like, you've got to be sensible. Skull says longed Casper at 0.3. Nice, bro. Nice. You don't have to do it. It's fine to be. Okay, cool. Why hasn't BlackRock applied for a spot ETF with XRP yet? Good question. They keep dumping Bitcoin. That's why I think they just keep selling Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, they will eventually. I think they want to see, it's like anything, they want to see that they've got volume in it. And right now, you know, we looked at it earlier on, it's about 50 million. It's down. It's already 50% down day over day. So, you know, we'll see. Mark Noby says, loving Monad right now. The Atlantis Dex is also working very well. Swap liquidity pools and staking, fun stuff. Yeah, I like it. I'm excited about Atlantis. I think they've got some really cool stuff going on. And we talked, I was in a space with the guys earlier on. Beebs, yes, I still hold my Jasmine. And they were talking about contract size on Monad. It's a pretty exciting ecosystem, man. I think it's going to be good. And I think this launch has been very successful. The debate is always going to be what happens with that further build out of the tokens. But yeah, we'll see. Wow, really, BK? That's insane, bro. That's insane. That is insane, if you ask me. I have to watch the news at 10. I don't know what's that for. I have no idea what that for. What time is it? No, it's only 10. That's fine. I thought it was way later than that for a second then. Thought it was going to be way later than that. But yeah, Monad, I like it. And Mark, I saw your earlier question that said, is it rabbit season yet? I would just keep a close eye on social media and the website at wreckedrabbit.com. That's all I would say. When do we get Atlantis tokens? Let me see. I think there's going to be an announcement this week. I think. So when I did speak to the team, I was like, they said it's a little bit early to give a full day as the chain is still not functioning fully and our listings are all being processed from the DEX side. I don't know if I meant to tell you that or not, but yeah. Soon as I know, you guys will know. Yeah, soon as I know, you guys will know. But yeah, they're just, I think, you know, make sure everything works, make sure everything's up to speed, the chain's solid, the chain's running, and then then you come out. So yeah, keep an eye on it. But as soon as I know, you guys will know. I'm saying Monad or Monard. I'm driving and that British accent is throwing me. Monad, M-O-N-A-D. It's the one on the screen right now. So yeah, it's the Coinbase IPO. Now, in fairness, the IPO was 0.025. So yeah, man, if you got the IPO like bullish, you hit nearly a 2x right now, which is kind of good. So I've no idea what's happening at 10 o'clock. I have genuinely got no clue whatsoever. Not a Scooby-Doo. Don't forget, if you haven't already, give us a quick thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It does help out the channel. Lets people know this is definitely somewhere to come and listen to. Also, tap the screen here on TikTok as well. We'd appreciate that. If you could be so kind, I would absolutely appreciate that. Okay, my PC needs to restart. It sounds like an airplane. Oh, man, just tap the fans. That's what happens to mine. Your vote, by the way, 73% believe that, yes, JP Morgan did close October 10th. That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Who would have thought, eh? Who would have thought? Does that BitUniX link work, by the way? Oh, it does. Okay, fine. I was just checking. Oh, there I am. Look, 2Bit Crypto. Way bullish. The 2Bit Crypto exclusive campaign. Never share your keys to claim rewards, people. Thank you, 2Bit. Hey, be kind. You know the drill. Absolutely not. If you're ever in any doubt, don't share anything. I can tell you a story, right, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you a little story today that tells you that right now, everybody, unfortunately, is out to take your cryptocurrency, and there are, enough scams in this world that you have to please be mindful. People will literally take your cryptocurrency without even thinking about it. Now, given what's happened in tonight's live stream, I want to be sensible. So at no point am I going to use people's names or anything, right? But I want to just tell you a conversation that I had with an individual. Now, what I'm going to do, just a really quick example, is actually show this individual on YouTube, which is great. Obviously, I can't do it on TikTok because TikTok doesn't like it. But this individual here, he sent me a message and he was like, yo, 2Bit, bro, loving the content, loving it. Says, greetings, I represent MSI and would love to share an exciting promotional opportunity with you. Are you available to discuss? And I'm like, holy crap, it's MSI. Of course I am. Like, I'm pretty excited. They said, great. Let's move on the agreement. Our PR department has prepared the collaboration documentation in the Panda Doc application. No idea what that is. It includes the agreement to be signed, creative brief, and a shipment details to be filled out. To access the materials, please use the following Panda Doc invitation. So you're like, all right, cool. It's got a shortened link, by the way. It says, after opening the invitation, click View Document. A password will appear on your screen. It's set to protect the company's data. Use this password when unpacking the archive. Then open the setup file. It will display the documentation where you can review everything, sign the agreement, fill in the shipment and payment details. Please review the materials carefully. If you have any questions of technical issues, contact me directly. I'll help you sort it out quickly. At this time, the service may not correctly process access requests via invite links on Android and iOS. Please use a Windows device. No, thank you very much. See you later. You are now blocked. It's pretty wild, in fairness. Pretty wild indeed, if you ask me. 2Bit, the relaxers are using a new wallet with enough tokens to relay. It's a nothing burger, and you don't have to do it. Oh yeah, Tim, are you way behind? I feel like you're way behind on the chat. That was about 10 minutes ago. I'm in on the IPO. We're nice, Fever. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good, by the way. That's gonna be pretty good. Uphold reward members can now trade Mon exclusively in the next 24 hours, bro. Uphold coming in strong right now. So yeah, shout out to Uphold. So yeah, that got sent to me. So please be careful, everybody, because there are so many bad people out there trying to steal all your favorite crypto coins, trying to steal everything about your life. Just be mindful, right? Don't give them it. Hassan says, no bull run in 2025. I mean, we had a bullish run, didn't we? We went from, think about it, $15,700 to $125,000, right? We went to that. The debate isn't necessarily, is there no bull run? The debate is there more to come? That's the big question you got to ask yourself. We have had a bull run. The debate is this a pullback within this bull run, or is the bull run over? That is the bigger question. And the answer to that is, I don't know, to be honest. Right now, I have no idea. I hope for the latter. I'm hoping that we'll see more upside. There is certainly some macro stuff that says we probably should see some more upside. Whether we will or not is anyone's guess. In my opinion, right? In my opinion. So yeah, we'll see. BTC and a few others did, but in the main, yeah, alt season, as much as we got like about a week of it, which then you sort of say, well, maybe alt season's yet to come. Maybe there's a bigger, a bigger opportunity to play out yet. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things, isn't it? Where, hopefully we get an alt season even now, even where we are sort of sitting at 87,000, but that's the biggest one. If you weren't a 100% all-in super maxi on BTC, then yeah, it didn't really play out as you would have expected it to, unfortunately, which, maybe there's a little bit more to come through, maybe not. I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. But hopefully we do. I mean, that's where I'm at. I'd like to see a bit more. I certainly feel like we should have got a bit more. And equally, I feel like the sentiment should have been better. Excuse me, we should have got way more upside than we have. But, it's crypto, isn't it? That is the unfortunate thing. And sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Take a quick look at the pre-markets just to sort of see. Again, we're not really bothered about US pre-markets. They've only just closed. But Asia and the Pacific we are interested in. What have we got? Shanghai looks like it's going to be up marginal. The HSI, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, up a little bit. Europe looks like it's going to open a bullish. No, thank you. The DAX, by the way, looks like it's going to nearly do 1%. That's pretty crazy. Commodities look like they'll be okay as well. So yeah, like could be a good, it could be a good day. Google after hours is the interesting one, isn't it? Rallying after hours by 1.6%. And people pricing in definitely going short on futures, which again is interesting. So maybe we get, a pump on the back. I'm not saying a pump on the back. It's probably not the right thing, but maybe we get a potential reversal on this one. Let's hope so, eh? Let's hope so. I see Jasmy's Junction has been there and Coin JCT maybe back. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Let's hope so. I mean, it's been in the coming. I feel like Junction, and I feel like I've seen quite a bit from Jasmy, which I've always said, by the way, right? My view a little bit was that I just feel like they should have more. They should be way more like bullish, way more optimistic, way more out there. And I think generally speaking, when it does, then they actually do better. Do you know what I mean? There's way more like optimism that sits around the chain, way more use case, blah, 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 blah. I think whenever they're quiet, you just don't get anything. And I think that's the problem, right? When you don't get anything, then, you don't get anything. So, yeah, just my view, by the way, for what it's worth. Maybe, maybe people don't care. I don't know. That's what I want to say. Hopefully get another week of alt season. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get something. That's my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see. Sentinel OX. Hold on a minute. Do I know this? Oh, yeah. I do know this. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty wild, isn't it? In fairness. Look at that. Pretty wild. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do know it. I do know about it. Keep close to the channel, baby. Yeah. I connected with the, with the marketing team I work with who have connected with this team. So, we kind of had an alt season. You just should have sold Jasmy at 7 cents and not bought AVAX at $40 when it's happening. I mean, that's true. I did buy exactly $44. But then I also did buy some as it kind of came down. So yeah. Yeah, Cent is an XXCL token, is it? Sentinel is a disclaimer. Past performance does not guarantee future results. That can be positive, negative results. What is it? Is it directly linked? Maybe I need to have a look at it anyway before anything else. The Guardians Awakened. Forged. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that, Be Kind. I'll catch up with Tim as well. By the way, if you haven't already checked out this, I highly recommend getting over here as well, by the way. Just, it's just be worth following the Twitter account, keeping dialed in. If you're interested, check out rekrabbit.com. Just my view, by the way. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm just saying have a look at this cool-ass website and see what's going on. But yeah, I'd highly recommend just keeping a close eye on what's going on. If you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you can see the Twitter account. Click on this. It's going to take you over to the Twitter account, X account. Do you want me to post it in here so you guys have got it? I would just recommend staying close to it. That's all. That's all. You know, not saying it's going to be, you know, anything bullish or whatever. Ship on base now. AI vet is called Pauline at beta testing stage. Game changer. Nice. Northern, what's going on, pal? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'd just keep your eyes on that. Just my opinion. You know what my opinion stands. Wow, BTC. I looked at that and was like, oh my God, BTC's up to what? 87.6. Holy smokes. No, that was futures. Okay, we're down a little bit. We're down a little bit. Why is it always on the... What do you mean? What do you mean, Curtis? What's going on, Vern? Appeal approved. Are you winding me up, TikTok? Are you actually winding me up? Are you winding me up, TikTok? Come on, bro. Come on. We've literally started a whole new live stream. They were definitely suppressing my account, though, because this new live stream has really struggled. Look at it. Look at it. We just gained 17 people in about 30 seconds. Get out of here. What? Oh, my gosh. That is an absolute joke. That's the third time they've done a thing. Look at it. 24 people now. Bro, what is this? I am messaging those guys. Guys, come on. 3 times you've done this to me now. 3 times. Look at this. We're nearly at 30 people right now. Everyone's piling back in. Come on, people. Get in. Just don't talk about Yorkshire tea. Oh, my God. That is insane, bro. Look at that. 31. Like, it's Sky. Bro, come on, TikTok. You should be promoting my account right now. You should be like, oh my God, we got this wrong. I can't believe we've got it wrong 3 times. 3 times. Bro, come on. Jesus. I mean, he can't help us, but you know what, you get my point. Oh my God. Come on, TikTok. You can do better than that. You must be able to do better than that. Hurts my feelings. Exactly. Be kind knows what's up. I'm definitely going to look into it, by the way. 100%. Definitely. I'll catch up with Tim and see what's going on. Again, no one's in here to get anyone wrecked, but I will definitely take a look at it. Definitely take a look at it. Bro, be kind. Get all over it, my man. If people are doing bad things in this space, they need shouting out. Again, we'll just make sure that that is true. Not saying you're not telling the truth, by the way. But obviously, I can't support something I don't know the full ins and outs of. But I would definitely take a look at it. Definitely take a look at it. 100. Yorkshire tea made in India, the famous family. Oh, man. I can't believe it. TikTok. 3 times, bro. 3 times you've, like, put an appeal thing on my account. 3 times it's been approved. That is wild. Anyway, right. BTC sitting at 80. Man, 86. Man, we took a bit of a dump here. We took a bit of a dump. You know, which is what it is, isn't it? Which is what it is. So, FedWatch, we've talked about. rekrabbit.com. Highly recommend checking it out. Go and grab some memes, by the way. Simply click on here, grab them, get the images. Whoa, bro, what the hell? Get some of them. Follow that. XRP, we touched on. Monad, still, I mean, it's on a little bit of a sell-off, but actually still looks pretty good. You got, like, there's nothing going on in DeFi, is there? There's no, like, nothing really going on in DeFi. DeFi's super quiet right now. Super quiet. So, you know, it'd be fun if there was, like, a bit more something going on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mono going back to the beginning. Andy, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Casey, Barry's tea is the best. Davo, come on. No, it's not. There is only one tea that anyone ever should drink, and that's Yorkshire tea. All right. You mean the famous Yorkshire tea? No, it's made in Harrogate, Stu. Come on, bro. Come on. It's not about where it's picked, it's about where it's made. And it's made in Harrogate. That's about as Yorkshire as you can get. Well, it's not actually. Barnsley's probably more Yorkshire, I think. But yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's like a posh Yorkshire, isn't it, Harrogate? All the blue chips are on sale. I mean, that is true. Yeah, I mean, everything's dumping right now. Like BTC taking a bit of a hit right now. Everything on a little bit of a push down. I don't think there's any macro reason other than just this kind of market structure that's doing what it's doing. Let me just check Twitter real quick. See if there's nothing coming in. Wages go up tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? It's wild. RWA Holden Solana just crossed 100k. Brilliant. What else have we got? CZ looking crazy. Yeah, and there's nothing really going on right now. It all feels a bit quiet, to be totally honest with you. All feels a little bit quiet over there. Lots of stuff in terms of macroeconomic data, immigration. What's that? Our monthly RSI, we touched on that right at the very start. What's that one there? US employers are still cutting hours, reflecting softening demand and economic uncertainty. We touched on that earlier, that the labor market is still very much in a weakening thing. The big narrative that we were talking about, we were discussing, at the start of the stream is the AI bubble. That's the big thing that needs to be on everyone's mind. That is the one thing I would be very focused on, which is the AI bubble. If the AI bubble goes pop, then it's all bad news, in my opinion. If it doesn't, then we could certainly see more rallying. Like, think about 2021. Think about, 2017. By the way, if you go back, let's just go back and take a quick look here. So you can see here back in 2021, we saw some pretty big corrections. Even if you take this, 2 weeks of downward momentum, we lost the best part of 31% before the market then just slammed higher. Same here, look. So we definitely can see these kind of pushes down. I think AI is one thing we need to keep our eyes peeled on for certain. I think some macro stuff that I definitely think is worthwhile keeping a very much strong eye on as well, because, if we start to see some of the stuff, like some of the key indicators that the Fed's going to use, then, this is going to be important to think about as well. The other thing that we talked about is, we just discussed it yesterday, this kind of credit idea as well. This kind of over leverage, credit card usage, blah, 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 blah. Keep an eye on that. As that goes up, people have less money. People have less money to buy dog coins, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't matter what chart you look at, you can see it. Deutsche Bank expects the Fed to cut interest rates by 25 basis points in December. I think most people expect them to cut 25 basis points. Most people do. So, yeah. We will see, but I hope it's bullish. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. What is with the Turkey thing, by the way? What is with this? I saw this earlier. Why does a turkey get pardoned by the president? What is that? Is that like a US thing? Anyone know? I don't know what it is. It's not something. I mean, obviously, someone launched a meme coin. Obviously. In fact, is there actually a meme coin for it? Yep, of course there is. Of course there is. On Solana as well. Oh my God. Get out of here. Wow. Wow. Everyone loves a meme coin. A 12k market cap meme coin. They're like, send it. Send it. Jesus. Thanksgiving. Yeah, but I mean, why does he pardon a turkey though? What happens to that turkey? Is it what I think's happening to the turkey? Why do they pardon a turkey for Thanksgiving? Thanks, Vern. The glasses are pretty cool, actually. During the presidency of George H. Bush, became a tradition since carried on by the Bushes' success for a president to issue a ceremonial pardon to the turkey. It is a tradition that the turkey be picked from the chairperson of the NTF's home state, occasionally from the chair's own farm, obviously. Why did turkeys get pardoned? The event began during Civil War when Tad Lincoln asked his father to spare a turkey named Jack from a holiday meal. President Abraham Lincoln obliged his son, pardoned the fortunate turkey. Years later, in 1947, President Truman pardoned. Okay, so this pardon a turkey for a laugh, yeah? Have you heard of the No. Why would that even be a thing? And if you put that again, we're going to ban you from the channel. All right? It's just weird. It's weird. Good. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, I know what it is. It gets to live unlike it's... Well, I mean, is that the only reason then? They're like, oh, this turkey's pardoned. It's like, what does it do? It's pardoned, not eaten. Wow. I mean, it's pretty wild, actually, if you think about it. Anyway, we're talking about this. By the way, 2017, if you were curious, was the same as well. So there was a number of times back in 2017 where you would have definitely been like, oh my God, the market's over. 3 weeks here of downward trending, oh, here we go. So, maybe, just maybe, I mean, it doesn't even look that bad, does it? But we've had 3 weeks. So we need a green week this week. Green week, then, you know, we might be in a bullish momentum. We will see. But look, bounce off that 100-day exponential moving average could be pretty interesting as that plays out. RSI massively still oversold as well. So, you know, maybe, just maybe, we get a little bit more upside. Maybe that could come in. I think the one to watch, obviously XRP have a nice little bounce reaction off that support line. So hopefully, you know, we can get a little bit more in terms of XRP as well. That would be good news. You know, perfect bounce off this lower range as well. So let's hope we get it. Let's hope we get it. No, Aston, I absolutely cannot. What I can recommend, though, if you're not already in the Discord, is join our free Discord channel. Totally worth it. Join over 300 people. Great community. Lots of debate, chats, all the rest of it. You know, people post occasionally in there. We've got some charts analysis, all the rest of it. If you want a little bit more and you want to get involved in VC opportunities and equally you got chart analysis and much more, get involved in our premium Discord. Simply become a channel member here on YouTube by clicking that join button or subscribe here on TikTok. All right. And you get access to that premium Discord. Again, we've also got a bot in there that can do instant technical analysis on not only DeFi, but on mainstream coins as well. So definitely check it out. Links in my bio and in the description. It is free to join. Get involved. We also have some trading manuals in our premium Discord, and we are building out a load of other stuff as well. So if you're interested, get involved. It's definitely going to be somewhere I think is worth it, in my opinion. But I am slightly biased, as it's my Discord server. So yeah. And by the way, we do vet pretty much every single person that goes into it. We check them. We make sure that they are legit. We make sure they're not going to randomly change their name to 2-bit and try and scam people. So yeah, we check we check loads of people, and if they don't make the grade, they get yeeted. So that's what I would say. So if you are interested in all of that good stuff, then by all means, head on over there, check us out, grab the link in the description, and get involved. It's definitely, in my opinion, worth it. Give you guys the inside info. You know it, baby. You know it. Doris Horace. What a name. That's a sensational name, by the way. Doris Horace, welcome in. DJT should be worried as the turkey's already pardoned. I mean, imagine that. Imagine an already pardoned turkey. I mean, I've got to be honest, I still don't really get it. I don't really get it. But maybe I never will. Maybe, I mean, we do not pardon turkeys in this country. Or certainly not that I'm aware of anyway. I mean, I've never pardoned turkey, but you know, maybe I should. Maybe I should be like, oh my God, look at this turkey. Hey, turkey. Chill out. Yeah, man, you guys have been posting. Jess has been putting some bullish stuff in there. Like it. Yeah, you guys are crushing it in the Discord. Let's keep it moving, by the way. Let's keep it moving in there. Turkey related to CZ? I don't think so. But yeah, let's keep the Discord moving, which is great, by the way. There's plenty of people online as well right now. So if you are interested, links in the bio, description. Get involved. Welcome to Eat Good Real Food. Welcome. You are the 305th member. Look at it. Right, where are we sitting right now? BTC 86.7, so a little bit of cool off. XRP 217 holding up. I, however, am out of here. 1 hour, nearly an hour and a half we've been live. 2 live streams on TikTok. Appeal approved again. Surprise, surprise. But anyway, that's for a different conversation altogether. As always, everybody, don't forget you can follow me all here. Look, these are my socials. TikTok, X, and obviously Instagram, albeit I don't post a lot on Instagram. Maybe I should do more. And then if you ever see this sign, this is me, look. And then this is you guys chatting. So there we go. Lots of stuff to talk about. As always, don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. By the way, thank you so much, TikTok, for sticking with me. It's been a real challenge tonight with TikTok putting a appeal against us. But we won! Hey! Again. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow night, as always, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. in the UK. Look out for us. Get in the Discord, by the way. Highly recommend it. Look out for some content coming on later as well. I also think that is a pretty bullish thing to think about. So, with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night with all the latest and greatest in the cryptocurrency markets. I will catch you soon. Take care.